I'd like to ask you this. Living at present in a crisis environment that affects our everyday lives at the emotional, intellectual and physical levels, how do we avoid knee-jerk reactions and how do we differentiate between them and good, solid instinct?
Well, first of all, good solid instinct means that we are in touch with our human nature. And in a way, we do use knee-jerk reaction when we're not prepared, when we go out of style, out of mind, and we react when we're caught by surprise. But as part of our decision in life, as part of our choices, if we stay focused, if we take care of ourselves and we stay centered and aware of what we believe and how we treat ourselves, our mind, our body, then it's more likely to react in a more efficient way, in a way that is more stable. And this way our choices will be more wise than just animal instinct.
Okay. If our values are our own unique compass to navigate forwards to a more developed self, a more productive life, what is a valid process by which we can re-examine such values at root level so that we can proceed to delete or transform some, to ease change, and or keep those that are still valid?
This is a very valid question because we find ourselves living and reacting to life circumstances in a way that is expected from us more than what is closer to our true beliefs. So in order to do this, we must stay focused in what is important to us, and we keep reminding ourselves what is really important to us, and reevaluate how we want to communicate rather than what is expected from society for us to do. There's a constant pressure there because we need to balance what is expected from us from outside sources and what we really believe. Am I answering your question?
I'm actually wondering if values are a constant in life or if they are something that can be or if it's something that is somehow attached to us from the outside world. You see what I mean? The difference meaning that a value is a compass, is a solid thing, and we may have these values since we are at an adolescent age, and then we gain more experience, but are these values solid or are they biased by what we get from our environment?
Some are quite solid and they stay the same throughout our lives, but very often our values change. Of course, we cannot be unaffected by what is expected from society, from us. So we have to choose and we have to make our own occasional readjustment. That's why it's good to look at our values, look at what is important for us, and come back and re-examine. Otherwise we end up living other people's values, what is expected from us. So it's good to spend some time in introspection and self-evaluation and stay in touch with what is really important from us. Sometimes the boundaries are blurred and we follow changes in society. I mean, things that were important to us or were accepted or expected do change. So my answer is that some are constant and some are constantly changing.
Right. Yep. And lastly, how patient, or better put, emotionally distant and intellectually alert do we need to be to effect positive change in our immediate environment?
Yes, again, very valid question, because again, as our values change, as our the influences from society change, we may have to constantly go back and reevaluate our lives. Sometimes we set our rules and we stay chained to our rules, change the things that we've decided. We have to be flexible. We have to say, I make my rules, I break my rules, and reevaluate what's happening. So for me, the answer is that there's a constant process. We have to be flexible. Society around us is changing at a very fast pace, at different levels, that sometimes we follow, sometimes we don't follow. So I think our life is a constant process of evaluation, re-evaluation, the same way that a boat going through the ocean, it never follows a complete straight line. There's a general direction. We have a compass, and the compass is our values, whether the course is changing, but at any point we have a direction. But if we look back, the trail that the ship leaves, the wake, is never a straight line. So we have to readjust, reevaluate, and feel the freedom to reevaluate and to correct our course. So it's good to have a general direction, but keep at regular times reevaluating and examining how we live.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.